Well, hi, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
Woke and Free.
Thank you for tuning in to our 60th episode of Woke and Free. If you've been tuning in every week for Woke and Free Wednesday, you know that Woke and Free is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything that's important to us, to you, the world, and nothing is off the table. In this episode, we're talking about something truly deep, the history of our favorite foods.
Yeah,
but
that's always good.
Exactly. Before we dive deep into this subject, we have a couple of ground rules to cover. First, are y'all subscribed to Woke and Free on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and all the other platforms our show is on? If not, what you waiting for? Come on now, join the party. We greatly appreciate your love and support of the show. Secondly, you have to share these episodes we make, guys. So, for instance, are you sharing this episode on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, or wherever you may be? Please do, and shout and tag us so that we know that you are shouting us out. Next, have you hollered at us on social media? If you have dying questions, if you have things that you want to run by us, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Woke and Free. And then lastly, if you're interested in giving us a more formal review of the show, share your comments and thoughts about our episodes, please do on any of the 18 platforms that we're on, and all of that is available to you on WokeNFree.com.
Oh, yeah. Each week we like to share a little bit about us before we dive into the topic for the episode. Last week we shared whether you prefer sleeping nude or with pajamas. This week we're sharing what our favorite genre of books are.
Really diving to the bottom of these barrels, aren't we?
But did you get that last one? Genre kind of rhymes with pajamas.
No,
Depending
my
on how you
mind
say
would
it?
have gone somewhere different. So you know how
It
I
kind
feel.
of depending on how you say it.
Gotcha. Because I
But this
thought you were saying another word actually. So
No. And you know you like this share too. You're really proud of it.
Oh Lord. So
Yes, proud one.
oh, good gosh. My favorite book is The Hobbit. So I definitely like fantasy. I like, I also like horror as well. I also love books. I'm a big Nicholas Sparks fan. And then I'm big on self-help. Obviously, I'm a coach and entrepreneur. So any book that's going to get my mind right and get our kitty in control. Literally. You guys should see how we record. Those are some of my genres. But for you, what are your favorite genres of books?
Oh, you got mad specific. I was just thinking like fiction or nonfiction.
Oh, my bad. I thought you wanted like
fine,
a detailed
though.
breakdown.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's good that you went into
okay.
that. I'm not going I'm not gonna get in on it like that. I just was gonna say that nonfiction is my favorite genre of books. That's all I was gonna say. Not like romance and yeah, you got into
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought
fantasy.
you were asking. Yeah.
You got real more. Yeah, I just was saying on a general note because sometimes people are like, oh, I can't read I can't read fiction books, you know, stuff like that. So
Lacking imagination, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So,
No, I love it.
So that's what I meant. Oh, and I messed up, but because yeah, fiction is fiction is my favorite type of genre. Of,
Not
books.
nonfiction.
Yeah.
God, I was about to say when you said nonfiction,
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't like history.
I know,
and,
yeah. I messed. I don't know.
biographies.
I don't know why I thought nonfiction. It's fiction.
Yeah, fiction.
Is
You like,
yeah.
We both like
I prefer the
fantasy and
fiction.
Yeah.
And it's just because there's a freedom that you can incorporate anything you want, even if it's not verified in the fiction books.
Mm-hmm.
But you also can include like real stuff. That's what's kind of cool about it. It doesn't
Exactly.
have to just all be fake per se. There can be actual facts in there. And what comes to mind is like things like The Secret can be like mentioned throughout a book.
Yes.
And it could be a fiction book, but it's talking about the secret.
Indeed.
So Dan Brown, he has a series of books where he takes you on a journey through history in each book, and there's like a thrilling adventure as well. But he's the author who wrote Da Vinci Code, but his Lost Symbol, it also has a hidden theme to it that I really like, and it's a fiction book, and I think it's I think it's one of the greatest books of recent times, to be honest, because it does have a little bit of the secret throughout it.
And Toby agrees.
Yeah, and he thinks they probably should do a movie of it too. They probably are going to do a movie of it. They done it of his last movies, The Angels and Demons. The other, I forgot the other one.
Yeah, well, Da Vinci Code, of course.
But after the Da Vinci Code, he did something else, and then he did The Angels and Demons. That one was weird, though. Yeah. There was two of them.
There was because it showed.
Dante's
Inferno. Yeah.
It was something Inferno. It might have just been called Inferno. Dante's Inferno was a famous.
It was. I think book. It was something called Inferno.
It might have just been Inferno or something. Yeah, he had that one. That one was interesting, but his Lost Symbol.
Slightly disturbing.
I think he brought it back. Da Vinci Code and Lost Symbol. Those are some good ones by him. That everybody should try to read the Lost Symbol. That's what I say.
You've been on that tip telling people to read that, so I agree. And so, guys, we will include all links on WokeNFree.com for the episode, so don't worry. You can click in and get this for yourselves. Now, with that, I think we should definitely get this party train started. So, is it important to know the history of the foods that you're eating? If so, why?
It's probably good from a cultural perspective. You want to learn where do French fries come from? You know, they're not created in France. You don't want to be ignorant.
Oh, geez,
and then go to France and be like, hey, guys, I love that you made this.
Yeah.
And how you did such a great job. You know, it could be actually offensive. So I think it's a good idea to know the history.
Plenty of Americans go there and say that, and they.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The French look at us with quite interesting eyes, aka shade.
Yeah, and when America was hating on France for a while, they called it the Freedom Fries. So I thought that was funny. That was back in like early 2000s. But I think we're back to French fries now. I think that's official. No more Freedom Fries. It can also learn, what's changed over time. Maybe you don't eat meat because of the growth hormones, but if you go back like far enough, there was a time when animals didn't have any of these growth hormones or anything. They were just like. They're natural and they tasted different, and you could still kind of get that, I guess, with organic meats. But I think just knowing the history of foods, it kind of helps. You could be like, oh wow, so what I'm eating tastes artificial, but it wasn't always this way. That there's actually a healthier way to eat it, and maybe that's the better way.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. I think it's completely illogical to walk around completely clueless of what you're doing, why you're doing it, or what you're enjoying. I think life is about learning something each and every day, and that includes what you consume, because why? You are what you eat, whether that's what you consume for your mind or what you put in your mouth. So knowing the history is going to make you more wise, more knowledgeable, and it's going to give more richness to your life.
What are your favorite foods to eat and why?
Oh, gosh, this is such a hard question because there's so many really good choices. I'm a big girl because I love to eat, guys. So if I had to narrow it down to 3 to 4 items, y'all can come for me if you want, Woke and Free Nation, but I'm going to be real because this is what the show is we're all about here. Okay, my 4 things. Coca-Cola. I know this is not food, but I would drink it every day if I could. I don't because of health reasons. But if I could, I would. And I really, really love it.
The real Coke or the fake Coke?
The real Coca-Cola. I mean, I do like the fake Coke with like the vanilla one because you like that one. And every time I drink it,
high fructose corn syrup.
Yes,
one?
but I remember when it first came out, when we had it, I believe, in college, and you really loved it. And so every time I open one, I think of you. So that's why I really like that one. But I just love Coca-Cola. To me, it seems very American, and it's just every time I drink one, I just feel like I'm a part of living history.
You feel like you're a Coke person.
Oh, I'm for sure a Coke person every day. I'll drink Pepsi like you don't even want to drink
like
Pepsi.
Like Tony Montana style.
Is that something perverse?
It's not perverse, but he sold Coke in the movie.
In what movie?
You don't remember him?
Who are you talking about?
Oh, all right. I'm gonna have to just Scarface. That doesn't ring a bell.
Scarface?
Yeah.
I didn't see that movie.
Oh, you didn't see Scarface? Well, he's a big Coke. He's a Coke dealer, so I thought you would like him.
Oh, like drugs.
That's what you're talking about.
I'm talking about Coca-Cola that you buy in the bodega. That is what I'm speaking of. I have no relation or interaction with Coke, the drug. I have never done that drug, nor do I plan to do that drug, so I wouldn't know who's selling it, nor who's consuming it.
But you like that Coke that they make from it.
Okay. Next, I like.
Let's hope we get into the real history of Coca-Cola.
You can
Let's
add
see.
to that history. I am not talking about.
Oh wow, you
that.
didn't get into that history.
No,
okay.
but you can share that information. The history I shared did not talk about
All right,
infiltration of drugs.
Oh, man.
Next, what I loved was I love jerk chicken, Jamaica in the house. Both of my parents are from Kingston, Jamaica, and I love jerk chicken and oxtail and curry goat and rice and beans and sweet plantain and black cake and carrot cake and all of that. So Jamaica jerk chicken is a traditional dish that everyone should have, and so that's every time I eat it, it's a small little reminder of what my family comes from and what Jamaica means to the world. Jamaica is a small country that is known across the entire planet, and I think that that's remarkable because of the type of people that come out of Jamaica as well as our food and music and culture. So obviously that had to make the list. Next, mint chocolate chip ice cream. Listen, people,
sugar overload. You have two sugary things.
Well, I'm a sugary girl.
At
yeah.
the top of the list.
So I saw some content recently on Facebook how people were like, mint chocolate chip is the most disgusting thing you could eat. Whatever. It's my favorite ice cream. I don't care if you want to come for me for it. Deal with it. It's my favorite type of ice cream. Next is guacamole because I love guac. It's probably like tasting heaven in your mouth is how I would describe it to someone who's never had it. So those are my four things. What are your favorite foods?
Quaaludes is one.
You're out of
Cocaine.
your mind, Khalil.
Oh wait, you said foods.
Food.
All right.
And please disregard that statement. That was
all
complete falseness. You do realize we're recording.
Oh, so I can't know Molly then either.
No, lies and fabrications, WokeNFree Nation. Lies and fabrications. Can you please answer the question accurately?
All right.
Before I make you swear under oath.
The top of the list is gonna be mac and cheese because there's nothing like that cheese.
Keeping
and
it
pasta.
classy, I see. Yeah.
No, guess what? The mac and your food is not gonna keep you safe on an island. My food I can survive off.
The
of on an
question
island.
was favorite foods. It
I
wasn't
know,
about foods that you need to live.
That's true.
By. It was about your favorite foods.
I know, but
answer the question.
What's great about my favorite foods is it keeps me safe in the zombie apocalypse.
And it also
mac and
keeps
cheese
you
will last
squared
me
away in
for
your
a
culture.
long time.
Yep.
Squared away in my culture.
Squared away right in your culture. Very stereotypical.
No, I don't think so.
Southern black.
Well, no. Oh, well, you'll see. You'll learn the history of mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of research on this. It's not what you think. There's a reason why it's so popular and why Kraft is number one in that space. But I like both types of mac and cheese. By the way, I like
stovetop and baked.
Yeah, the baked is the original, and the original is always the best. But the stovetop is still good, and you can have different flavors
chunks
too.
Of cheese in there, yep.
You can have different flavors in there and spice it up. But mac and cheese is it's like a very comforting food. It's comfort food. Then the next one is baked Cajun Catfish. I just love the Cajun the flavoring. And she does the flavoring she's doing it from scratch. She's not like buying the Cajun in a bottle or anything. There's like a way to make it.
Yeah, his mom
with all the little ingredients.
One.
So that's definitely that's my number 2. Number 3 is rice pilaf, and if you haven't had that, you have to. It's like a buttery
heaven in your
version
mouth
of rice, and has a hint of good flavoring, and it's great. And then jerk chicken actually, because I don't know, I love the flavor of jerk chicken. I used to have that when I was younger. We'd have it at all the parties I go to. So jerk chicken is it for me. I like spicy food, so jerk can be spicy, it can be sweet. But I'll take it both ways.
I like
it spicy
a mix
or sweet.
Of spicy and sweet.
You can have it. You can mix it together. That's what
really
I like
good.
about jerk. It's not just one way. There's a couple ways you can have it. And
Absolutely.
I don't really get tired. I don't get tired of it. It's tasty. Definitely
Every
tasty
single
way
time.
to have chicken. Yeah.
Absolutely. So now, what is the story of our favorite foods? Just to kind of get right into the heart of the episode.
Well, yeah, let's jump into the mac and cheese, which I found some interesting information about. Well, we know that mac and cheese is macaroni and cheese, and pasta comes from Italy. They were big with Italian dishes. So these pasta and cheese casseroles actually existed as early as the 14th century in Italy.
Interesting.
A cookbook actually mentions this recipe. It's called Liber de Coquina, I think. I don't know Italian.
Okay.
I don't know if I said it right. But yeah, in that book, it actually mentioned the mac and cheese recipe. So the 14th century is where it kind of dates back to. And then I read this Smithsonian article. They go on to some other points about the dish. it was actually brought over to the U.S. of A. by Thomas Jefferson, who
That's cool.
loved the pasta dish that were served in France. So he went, when he was in France, he saw all these different he saw all these. He just liked how the pasta looked, and he said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna bring this back. It's just like so." It looks so great. They didn't say he said it tasted great. They just said he said it looked great. That's literally what it said. But all right,
pasta can
he
be
brought
quite
it back.
beautiful,
Yeah, that's true. The presentation probably was like there was nothing else like that. That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can make really fanciful
art.
It
looks really pretty. It
can be like art, really. Yeah. And he then served the macaroni in 1802 at I think it was like a state dinner or something.
Cool.
It was one of those
ahead,
government dinner things. He served it to the other people, other higher ups. And then what's interesting is that when Kraft actually got into the macaroni cheese game, it was in 1937, and they did this like during the time when people didn't have a lot of money, and
Great Depression.
we were at a real bad time, and people needed cheap food, so they were able to actually serve 4 people for 19 cents, and that year they were able to sell like 8 million boxes, and from then on it just became like a staple of American
8 million
eating.
Boxes. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, 8 million boxes a year.
That's a lot of product back then. Wow.
Back then, yeah, that's a lot. I don't even know. I don't know how they were shipping it.
So everyone was eating it then, I guess. Pretty much. Yeah.
Because that was the only thing you can get. What they used to eat was what was big back then was dairy and meats, but they couldn't afford that. That's expensive to keep the dairy and meat fresh. So this macaroni and cheese is great because it's like, it's boxed. It has a great shelf life.
That was the downhill of American cuisine, yeah.
That was actually the true start of it.
Yeah, that's...
Some would argue that's the start of the American cuisine.
Yeah.
And you would... Okay, you say otherwise, but... Well, baked Cajun Catfish is another dish that I love. And NPR says that actually the original style of the catfish it's called a blackening style, and... It's now associated with many Cajun dishes, but actually it was invented by this chef, Paul Prudhomme, and this was his own thing. This really wasn't a Cajun-style dish. He made this style up by spicing the fish and then cooking it in a very hot cast iron skillet. This wasn't done in many Cajun dishes. They weren't done in this style, but he came up with this and it became like a staple, and now we come to call that Cajun Catfish, but really it was his own creation. I guess because he was from Louisiana, like he was from an area where they did a lot of Cajun stuff, but his own spin became really popular. People really liked it. They said that he seasoned the fish without overwhelming it, and I personally like the baked version of it, but the original is definitely good too. I've had that at some restaurants because a lot of restaurants you'll go and you'll see that on southern menus. You'll see the blackened Cajun catfish, just like in the style of the chef. The other food that I like is rice pilaf, and according to Smart Kitchen, Asian rice was a staple by 12,000 BC. So that's when the first rice was like, I guess, documented to have ever been made. It was 12,000 BC. India had the earliest form of pilaf as we kind of know it, but it was in the form of Pula, an Indo-Aryan word meaning rice and meat. And then the biggest people that I guess really coined the word was Persia, and they're the first to use the word pilaf in their dish. And what that meant was that pilaf, the word means to put grains, or to, I guess, boil grains in broth. And that's how I like it, that's what the boxes do now. You put some broth, you put some rice, and there you go, you got your rice pilaf. And then when the Greeks conquered the Persians, they adopted the dish, and they called it pilafi. That's another thing I found out in it. Jerk chicken, the word jerk actually comes from the word charqui, a word for dried strips of meat. I think it's a Spanish word that I saw.
Yep.
And that's like kind of the origins of where jerk chicken came from. And then Helen Walensky wrote this book, Jerk from Jamaica, and she said the word jerk came from people turning the meat around in the marinade, or it might have came from people like picking up people jerking the strip from the roast on the barbecue roast. That's where she thinks the word jerk came from. So that's kind of what I found on jerk chicken.
Cool. I definitely will elaborate upon that as well. Now, for me, Coca-Cola. If you go to CocaColaCompany.com, again, all links and research will be found on WokeNFree.com. The product that has given the world its best known taste was born actually in Atlanta, Georgia in May in 1886. Dr. John Stith Pemberton, a local pharmacist, produced the syrup for Coca-Cola, carried a jug of the new product down the street to Jacob's Pharmacy, where it was sampled, pronounced excellent, and placed on sale for 5 cents a glass as a Soda Foundation
Pronounced
drink.
excellent.
And the carbonated water was teamed with the new syrup to produce a drink that was at once delicious and refreshing, a theme that continues to echo today wherever people enjoy Coca-Cola. And thinking that the two C's would look well in advertising, Dr. Pemberton's partner and bookkeeper, Frank M. Robinson, suggested the name and penned the now famous trademark Coca-Cola in his unique script. And then the first newspaper ad for Coca-Cola soon appeared in Atlanta Journal, inviting thirsty citizens to try the new and popular soda fountain drink. Hand-painted oilcloth signs reading Coca-Cola appeared on store awnings, and the suggestion drink and added to inform passerbys that the new beverage was for soda fountain refreshment. And then during the first year, sales averaged a modest 9 drinks per day. And unfortunately, Dr. Pemberton, who created this, never actually realized the potential of the beverage he created, because he actually died in like 1888. And again, this was created 2 years prior. So, and he sold his remaining interest in Coca-Cola to Asa G. Candler and Atlantan with great business acumen, and Mr. Candler proceeded to buy additional rights and acquire complete control. So there you go. It was started by a pharmacist, which is kind of interesting. Definitely did not know that, and I didn't know
that makes sense
Coca-Cola was so old, actually, which is really interesting.
That's why that pharmacist used cocaine in it.
So that was not in any of the research that I came across.
I found it. It definitely used the extract of cocoa leaves and cola nuts,
okay.
And the cocoa leaves are used to make cocaine. So
okay, so I don't
definitely
think he
does
wasn't
have that
using
in there.
cocaine in the drink, but yeah, he could have used a derivative. I didn't go into the chemical breakdown of this drink. I just wanted to know.
You don't want to know that you're drinking something that used to have traces of cocaine in it?
I'm not obsessed with drugs, as you happen to be in this conversation, no. But do you have other tidbits that you'd like to share on drugs?
Well, it's impossible to say how much trace of cocaine was really in it. It might have been like it might have been a 400th of a grain.
Derivative of cocaine, not actual cocaine. He didn't make cocaine and put it in the drink. You're saying the cocoa leaves.
Oh, yeah, it's the leaves, but it's still that drug, though. That drug is in the leaves, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but it's not.
Cocaine
it's
is a
to
different
use a
form.
Leaf, and then it's quite a different to take actual cocaine.
Well,
like
they're just
white
powdering
dust.
the drug, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more concentrated when you have it on its own, but it is. You
derivative
can call it
of
that.
it.
Yeah, you can call it that
yeah.
because that's where it comes. It has some in there. So
obviously that tickles.
They just
you
never
quite
knew how much was in there. Well, because who comes up with that name Coca-Cola? It's not random. It's not just they just try to put it. There's a little bit more to it. Cocoa leaf. So now
gotcha.
And the cola nut. So there you go. Coca leaf and
there
the cola nut.
Go.
That's where we really get it from.
Now we're fully educated. Excellent.
Not fully, but at least people have their appetite whet.
So with jerk chicken, according to Britannica.com,
Okay. Okay.
This is a spicy grilled meat dish, mostly associated with Jamaica, but common throughout the Caribbean. Other Caribbean places will have it. Jerk refers to a style of cooking, which you alluded to earlier, in which the main ingredient, which most often is chicken, may also be for beef, pork, goat,
jerk
boar, seafood, or vegetables. Absolutely.
I've never heard of jerk beef.
I enjoy jerk pork. I've yet to have had jerk beef.
I've never heard of jerk beef.
Maybe people have done it in the past. I don't know if it's currently present.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
It's coated in spices and slow cooked over a fire or grilled, traditionally composed of green pimento wood positioned over burning coals, and then the resulting smoke is a key to the flavor of the dish. Now, this cuisine actually had its origins with the Taino, yeah, which who developed the jerk method and later taught it to African slaves, who in turn adapted it into creating jerk chicken. And you already mentioned kind of the history of the word jerk. Definitely Spanish charqui, yeah. And also in Jamaica, jerk chicken is famous for its pungent marinade marked by allspice and Scotch Bonnet peppers, which are similar to habanero chili peppers. And then this is a dish that you would eat with like rice and beans, plantain, sweet potato, fritters, etc. And then taino. Yeah. So just note for that, this is all shared on Britannica, which is also available on WokeNFree.com. Those were Arakan-speaking people who, at the time of Christopher Columbus's exploration, inhabited what are now Cuba, Jamaica, Hispaniola, which is Haiti and the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. So most of the numerous indigenous people of the Caribbean, Taino, may have numbered 1 or 2 million at the time of the Spanish conquest in the late 15th century. So I actually didn't know that, that was a part of Jamaican history, that it was, I guess, native inhabitants that then...
What, that made the
that region, actually. So there's... It's interesting, I guess, with culture, because I don't think people really talk about. Did they talk about that in class with you at school? Taino?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, or maybe my school was bad. I don't know.
they did mention that. That's why I knew the word. I recognized.
I mean, maybe they talked about it at one point. I don't remember that. So.
Oh, you didn't even know. You didn't know the types of people that inhabited those places.
No, did not know that, because that's similar to here, right? Like the indigenous people here before. Yeah, so that's interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotcha. All right, so moving on, mint chocolate chip ice cream. So according to McCormickFlavor.com, mint chocolate chip ice cream was invented in 1973 by culinary student Marilyn Ricketts while studying at South Devon College in England.
Really? Not Ben and Jerry?
She entered a competition to provide an ice cream dessert for Princess Anne's wedding to Captain Mark Phillips at Westminster Abbey. And then the dessert was originally named Mint Royale. And she got a silver cup for her efforts, and we got our first taste of one of the most popular ice cream flavors ever. So that's interesting. Definitely didn't know it had English ties. And then...
but they love mint, though. That makes sense. They're big on the minty flavor. So
mint,
there we go. That's the ticket.
Yep, and then lastly with guac, according to, I can't even say the website
Guac
name.
it up.
Yeah, it's like so hard, but so you can, I don't know what that's, but you'll see the link, guys. It's like tenochtitlian.amico.net or something.
Amigos? What'd you say? You just said the Migos. What are you talking about? Some music? You like raindrops, drop top.
Hey! Yes!
You talking Migos? What are you saying?
We're
this
getting
is an interesting site you're going to.
We're getting, we're going.
This ain't about guac.
Brick road, guys.
Yeah, you going back to the cocaine thing.
So
like, what's going on?
You need to take a chill pill on drugs right now. Guacamole was actually made first by the Aztecs prior to the 16th century. Early guacamole was made purely of avocado, and then the modern name derives from Nahuatl word ahuacamole, which literally translates to avocado sauce. And then guacamole became incredibly popular in Mesoamerican society because of the abnormal nutritional value of avocados. Avocados are very high in fat and protein and content for a fruit. So diets in the society had a relatively low fat content, and as such, it became a vital element of the diet of the people native to its habitat. In addition, the Aztecs believed guacamole to be an aphrodisiac, so that increased its popularity, of course.
That's always good.
Freaknicks. As Europeans arrived, they too enjoyed the dish, even going as far as to attempt to replicate it with substitutes for the avocado. However, the substitutes failed to reach the same level of popularity, and European interest in the avocado grew dramatically. What's weird?
The substitutes, like...
You can't substitute guac, it's
like they're trying to make like a guacamole type sauce, but...
Yeah, you have to use the avocado.
They just said, let's use something that's more...
Yeah, so you can, the articles will all be on WokeNFree.com. There's more to that you can read on, but yeah, Aztecs, guys. That's who created guac, which
sense.
is a very, very
I knew
interesting.
Guac, I knew it was from like the South America area. I didn't know it rooted back to the Aztecs, though.
Well, it's Aztecs and then the Mexican culture and all that good stuff. So
Mexicano?
Si, senor. So with that, what is next?
Well... We gotta ask, would you change anything of your favorite foods in any way? Anything that you'd like to adjust to it to make it better, I guess?
So interest in the CocaCola family or company.
Interest?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you want to control them? Share?
Interest. Kidding. I don't know. Do we invest there?
Yeah.
No,
Of
I mean,
course.
the only thing I would change probably would be something with jerk chicken, but people have to stay tuned for that. We're still pining over some thoughts there. But outside of that, no.
No improvement? Oh, all right. Wow.
Yeah. That's. I mean, how about you? What would you change anything about your favorite foods?
Of course. I would just want my foods to be healthier in some way.
Oh, yes.
That was a very interesting PC answer. I like that. Yeah, that's very interesting.
That was very clear and direct.
For sure. For sure.
Because we're all moving towards a healthier future, so our favorite food should be healthy.
Indeed.
Whatever that means.
Indeed.
I'll leave that up to the audience to figure out.
Yes, WokeNFree Nation, out of what we discussed today, do we share favorite foods with you? And if so, why are they your favorite foods? Did you know the history? And then, would you change anything? Please comment and add this on the episode at WokeNFree.com.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? It's scenario time. Scenario 1. Pat and Gino make some of the greatest cheesesteaks in the world. They have been competing year after year for best cheesesteak on the planet. They make everything fresh and authentic. Sophia tried both, but says she still prefers the one served at her high school cafeteria. Should Sophia get her taste buds checked out by a doctor, or is she valid in her opinion?
That's really harsh, actually. That's a really harsh question.
Bro, it's harsh. What?
Because you're like assuming or you're presupposing that her high school couldn't have great quality food. Like,
now we've got a comedian here.
Your face right now is
Yes,
really interesting.
because I didn't know we had a comedian as one of the
I've told you
co-hosts.
for years that I should do stand up.
Yeah, I think you might have a point.
But,
you may have a point.
I think the thing about food is similar to beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. If you love something, it doesn't matter if the rest of the world hates it. As long as you love it, then it's food that you love, and that's it. Point blank, period. So if she likes her high school cafeteria cheesesteak, then that's what she likes. And if no one supersedes that, then maybe it's not necessarily just the food. Sometimes you like something because it reminds you of something, or maybe you had your best moment in your life and you were eating that. So it's always something good. It might not even be the food itself. So at the end of the day, should she try other cheesesteaks? Yeah, I mean, as long as she enjoys eating that food, then she should try other ones and get context to see how other people make it. But you can't fault her for what she likes. And that's my opinion, at least.
Okay. I think she should go into one of those studies to see why she doesn't like good cheesesteak. That's what I think.
Why are you presupposing her school can't make a good one?
No, but they're competing against the world's best cheesesteak, really? She doesn't like the world's best cheesesteak?
Maybe she goes to the world's best high school.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they have the best cheesesteak, because then they should be on the top 10. They should be the best then. If you're having the best, why are you settling for something less?
Because it's like, for me, I mean, you made this example off of me. I like fake cheesesteak over real one. So guys, don't
say this is made off of you.
The level of laughter right now is ridiculous.
No, don't say this is made off of you, though.
Ridiculous.
Take that back.
Guys,
that it's made off of you.
WokeNFree Nation, so he's coming for me because we went to Penn State, as you guys know, right? And I love the cheesesteak. Where did we eat it from? Was it South Hall was it South Hall that I liked it from? Or
yeah,
it was South Hall.
Actually, you liked it from Pennypacker too.
Yes, Pennypacker too. Yeah. So the point was I liked the cafeteria cheesesteak from this campus out in Penn State, but then he was like, no, we gotta have the best cheesesteak. He drove us to Philadelphia. We went to like a raved about cheesesteak place, and
we went to Pat's actually.
Oh sure, okay.
We went to Pat's
and
cheesesteaks.
I mean, no disrespect, Pat or whatever, but I wasn't a fan. Khalil liked it, and then from then on, he's just been going around saying, well, you like the fake one instead of the real one. So that's why you think I don't know you're coming for me in this exercise? I know you're coming for me.
No, why is it coming for you?
I'll go back to Penn State to have a cheesesteak. Thank you very much.
You gotta try Gino's next time, and we'll see. We should have tried both. That was the mistake.
And I will enjoy Penn State's the most.
Oh boy.
Why? Because I love my Penn State experience. That's why.
Okay, if you say so. Scenario 2. Candace invited her girlfriend Eleanor over to taste her special top secret family passed down jerk chicken. Eleanor was so delighted with the flavor, she really wanted to make it herself, so asked Chandace for the recipe. Chandace gave it to her, but in 2 years heard about a new jerk franchise that makes the best jerk chicken of the South Side. She comes to find out that Eleanor is the CEO of this new company. What should Chandace do?
Wow. So, okay, we're back to legal issues. Okay. You're funny. You're funny.
These scenarios just come about. I don't know.
So I'm not going to speak to the legality of what this scenario is hinting to, because that is not my forte, and someone else can maybe speak on that. Whether she has legal rights or obligations that she can go after in this scenario. What I will say is that if something is precious to you, handing it out nilly-willy risks it being not precious to you and privy to the world. So if this was a recipe that she wanted to keep near and dear for her and her family and her loved ones, then she probably shouldn't have handed it over to her friend, is what I would suggest. But what should she do? I don't know if you can do anything, is my question, but what is your answer?
Yeah, I'd say the problem with this is that she never expressed she had any thoughts of making this thing public or making anything out of it. So technically, Eleanor is not in the real wrong in using the recipe for that. You know, the only problem is that she said, "Oh, this is a family secret," and maybe she could have cleared it with her. But really, you know,
you shouldn't hand it out.
You shouldn't have gave it out. You gave out this secret recipe. I don't care if that's your homegirl. Like, that's your family thing. Just keep it in the family. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean,
I think you kind of messed up yourself.
Yeah.
The most you could do now is maybe be a brand ambassador. You'd be like, hey, I'll be a brand ambassador. Can you give me a free bucket of jerk?
For her own family sauce. Oh, you're
the
funny.
cheap imitation.
Oh, and I'm the comedian today.
No, because she wants the cheap imitation. She doesn't want the real one.
Yeah, I mean,
man.
I think that what this exercise, I think, is really pointing to is the idea that when you have something really amazing and you sit on it and just continue to make jerk chicken, instead of going out and starting a business or creating something out of beauty that you have sitting around, then you risk someone finding it and stumbling upon it and making loads of money off of something that you just, were too pleased to just have it for Sunday dinner. So think about what you know and what you can do, and if you can make money from it and want to make money from it, do, but don't get mad when other people
profit.
Yeah, when they jump on an opportunity. Life is about taking action, guys. It's not about just sitting down and saying, I have some good jerk chicken.
Yeah, that's all she's doing. She's eating that good jerk.
Yeah, you keep making the recipe. How about we make it into some sauce? We make it into some businesses. We, go on a bookstore. We do the whole kabam. So you snooze, you lose.
Scenario 3. Priscilla is a fairly lucky woman who wins many of the sweepstakes she enters. This last winning put her in a tough bind, though. She actually won the opportunity to receive one of these foods each day for the rest of her life. She had the choice of curry goat, quinoa, or tacos. Which one should you choose?
You really are crazy. You're crazy. Like, you're literally crazy.
What do you say?
Someone has a choice to win something, and it's curry goat, quinoa, or tacos?
Yes. It's the opportunity of a lifetime, though, for the rest of your life.
I don't even know
every
what type
day.
of universe you're
Every
living.
day you get that. Every day you get, but you only get one of those. That's the problem.
Can you choose one and switch it up?
No, you don't switch it.
It's one every day.
Yeah, once you choose one, that's it. You're stuck with it.
I don't even know what answer you would choose. Well, actually, based on your earlier answer of health, I guess I know which inclination you're going. But and you didn't even specify, is this tacos with beef or chicken?
That's the whole
or
trick.
Shrimp?
You don't know. You don't know. It's a taco
It could
surprise.
be vegan. Oh, wow. That could be interpreted in so many different ways right now.
Well, yeah, it could be. That's the problem with tacos. You never know what you're going to get. Like,
and
literally.
now you're coming from someone else. Gotcha.
No, but
okay.
that's every taco maker. You don't know what their meat's in. You don't know what they put in their meat or if it's meat. You don't know what it is.
You know my answer's curry goat, Khalil. Like,
your answer was real quick.
All day, every
day. You
day.
said curry what? Oh,
yeah, curry goat.
Then you're into goat, and you're like, I know what to choose now.
It's tender. It's delicious. I'm sorry because I do like goats, but I also like eating curry goat. So that's my answer. And yours, quinoa?
Well, see, it's a tough choice between, because it's the taco surprise or the quinoa, which you know is good for you, but it's like, it's uncooked quinoa. It's you still gotta work for it. The curry goat, at least it's put together for you. But man, I don't know if I would go with the taco surprise. Like, not on Taco Tuesday. Like, that's kind of crazy. No, you can get tacos for cheap. You know what? I go with the quinoa. I think the quinoa is worth more even. Yeah, definitely the quinoa.
The inner workings of your mind is fabulous. I wish I could, like, go in your head and see how you come to make these questions and these thoughts. You're out of your freaking mind.
What? No, this is a scenario. I don't know where these come from, actually.
I mean, even if you had said you have the choice between winning money and winning goat, I would have seen that as more logical.
What about
question.
A goat farm? No, a goat farm?
Dang. I mean, I guess I would choose the money because you can always build the goat farm. But,
but they don't, it's not enough money. Some
people might choose the goat farm.
Yeah, they might give you a goat farm that's 20 acres, so that's always nice. And they get to run around.
Cheddar cheese.
But you got to eat them then. Because how are you going to make your curry goat?
Can we not go there? Can we not ruin the beautiful moment?
You know you like your curry goat though. You know you like the tender
your
meats.
taco surprise.
No, I'm scared. I don't know what that might be. Taco Tuesdays.
Be fearless.
Beef. Yes, if it's beef, then I could do that. You're right. You're right in that. I can go with. Yeah, that's a chance. But I know a lot of people would go with the tacos though. That's why I put that.
I know you do.
I don't. No, I'm saying a lot of people would.
I
don't know if I would though.
No, you're going
I'm
with
going
the
with quinoa.
BJ's quinoa, yeah.
It better not be BJ's. It better be top brand quinoa.
What you try to say?
I don't want no warehouse quinoa.
What you try
No,
to
I don't want
say.
warehouse quinoa. I want like packaged by hand, American made quinoa. Imported and then American
packed.
Had
the nerve to say American made too. I love it. Go ahead, America.
No, because I know they're going to pay the workers more. They're going to overpay them. They're going to have a pension, and they're going to be paid a lot to make this.
This conversation is going in all different wrong directions. We are done right now, sir. We are at the end.
Stick a fork in it. We're sticking a fork in this food topic right now.
Sure. We are at the end of our 60th episode of Woke and Free. Disastrous. This was quite the episode.
We needed another try.
Quite the episode talking about the history of our favorite foods. Why? Because we need to be educated and we got to be woke and free even about the foods that we're eating. So, will I leave you hanging for what our next episode will be about? Drum roll, please.
On our next episode, we will be talking with special guest Jade Kolb about whether we are doing enough for our stray animals in this country. Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along in the conversation, and make sure you tune in next week for Woke and Free Wednesday to join the conversation at WokeNFree.com.
Guys, you hear how much fun we're having. You should be having quite a blast listening to this foolishness. And if you want to be a guest and have just as much fun on the show with us, what do? You got to submit a topic for an upcoming episode. And where do you do that? On our Contact Us page at WokeNFree.com. That is WokeNFree.com. We are also very active on social media. If you're feeling to slide up in our DMs, message us, hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at WokeNFree.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do. Share the episode, and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for Woke and Free Wednesdays. Remember, Woke and Free is more than a podcast. It is a way of life. Until next time.